Have you ever prayed your heart out and felt like God didn't respond? Like you were speaking into the air and heaven just stayed quiet? You read the Bible, you try to stay faithful, but the silence makes you wonder, where is God? If you've been there, you're not alone. So many of us have faced seasons where God's silence felt louder than anything else. But listen closely. Just because God is silent doesn't mean he's absent. Sometimes his silence is part of his plan. Think about it. When a teacher gives a test, they're quiet, not because they've left, but because it's time for you to apply what you've learned. God often works the same way. In moments where we feel abandoned, he may actually be watching us closely, cheering us on, growing our faith in ways we can't fully understand. His silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. In the Bible, even Jesus experienced this. In Matthew 27:46, Jesus cried out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" The Son of God himself felt the weight of silence. But even then, the Father hadn't left. He was carrying out the greatest plan of redemption the world has ever known. That silence wasn't rejection, it was part of salvation. Maybe you're praying for healing, for breakthrough, for clarity, but all you hear is quiet. Maybe you're asking God to fix a broken relationship, open a door, or give you peace, and it feels like nothing is changing. But here's the truth. God may be doing his deepest work in the silence. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." Just because you can't hear him doesn't mean he's not working. Silence teaches us to trust, not in outcomes, but in God himself. It strips away our need to control and reminds us that faith isn't built on feelings. It's built on who God is. Abraham waited 25 years for a promise. Joseph waited over a decade in prison and slavery. David was anointed king and then waited years while being hunted by Saul. They all faced silence, but in the waiting, God was shaping them for the promise. It's in the silence where we grow, where our roots go deeper, where our prayers get real, where our faith moves from being surface level to unshakable. It may not feel good, but it's making you stronger. It's teaching you to worship when things aren't easy, to trust when you don't see, to love God not just for what he does, but for who he is. Proverbs chapter 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." That means even when it doesn't make sense, even when your heart is tired, you can trust that God knows what he's doing. His silence isn't him ignoring you, it's him strengthening you, preparing you, protecting you. So if you're in a silent season right now, hold on. Don't give up. Keep praying, even if it feels quiet. Keep showing up. Keep worshiping. Because the God who seems silent is the same God who parts seas, heals wounds, and moves mountains. Just because you can't hear him doesn't mean he isn't near. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the silence was sacred, that he was working behind the scenes the whole time, that what felt like a delay was actually divine design. Type Amen if this speaks to you, and share this with someone who needs hope today. God is not gone. He's just getting ready. And in the silence, he's writing your testimony.